Yes, it is Saturday night, and I gotta tell you, there is no place that I would rather be than back here with you to share inspiring stories, good conversation. Don't go a place. You want to be a part of our community calendar. We can share your event, we can share your company, we can share what you have going on. All you'll need to do is go to our website, www.theconnectonline.com. So super excited about that. But coming up first, yes, next level conversation. And this guest is going to do just that. I got to share with you how I met the Karen Swain. No, we're not related. Well, actually, we are. I'm going to claim that. So tonight, you will need your paper and pen. She went from $100,000 a year to 200 to 300, and now she is a multi-millionaire. She's going to show you how you can do it too. All right, Karen Swain, welcome to Natalie.
Thank you,
girlfriend.
Hi, Natalie.
Girl,
we're here.
This ad that I saw with this program that you're working with, talking about how to price your product, blew me away. And I don't even sign up for free discovery calls, but I bet you I signed up with Karen Swain. They said on the bottom, you can sign up. You can do a 30-minute discovery call. I said, ooh, I'm signing up. I want to talk to Karen Swain, and look at God. You are on Natalie. So yes, Miss Karen.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you. When I really learned how to price, I'll say that. I've been in business about 10 years. And so when I entered the federal government space and started doing business with the government, that is when I truly learned how to price, because the government forces you to be a big girl and a big boy.
Listen, you talked about having that $100,000 year, 200, 300 before you became this multimillionaire. I want to go back there and how you knew you were equipped to transition into being your own boss.
Like a lot of us, we get into these jobs and you really know if you're an entrepreneur. Most entrepreneurs, it's just in our soul. It's in our spirit. It's almost kind of something we're born with, right? But you always know that you've got so much more to offer.
Yeah.
So I was at that point of my career where, I had experienced some success, got into a little bit of upper management. And so I decided, I wanted to break out on my own, but I needed to have a plan to do it. I took some time off because I needed it. So the thing that I did, and what I would recommend is start out as an independent contractor first. Learn how to do business by yourself, because what that's going to do is every time you go to a project, you're going to build some more relationships. Then when you get ready to really get out there and stand up a company, you really understand the things that you have to do to make that happen. So that was kind of my strategy. I went out as an independent, and from there, I did that for about 5 or 6 years. And then I moved and really stood up the company and, brought on employees and started going after big contracts and that kind of thing.
But what are some things that you see people can maybe do now to get a more accurate pricing for their business?
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that. So the one thing that I see small businesses struggle with is, one, we don't have accounting in place, right? I'm talking about an accountant, and an accounting system of record. The vast majority of small businesses, we use QuickBooks. So when I say have an accounting in place, that means that, to your point, Natalie, when I talk to you about those direct and those indirect costs, the direct costs are the easiest, because those are the costs that in professional services that you will spend on labor.
Right.
Those costs that it takes to produce or render that product or service. It is the indirect costs that is a bit more challenging. And this is where accounting comes in, because your indirect costs, there are 3 major cost pools: fringe costs, then you've got your overhead, and then you've got your general and administrative costs. Those costs are flagged and they are tied to a cost pool. Your accountant has to work with you to be able to reconcile your statements every month and be able to take those costs and classify them into the appropriate classification of account that's embedded in your chart of accounts. This is covering costs. We're not talking about profit yet. This is strictly for you to break even. Then you add profit on top of that, and you'll know what your profit average margins are based on industries and that kind of thing. But first, before you even say yes to a job, you've got to cover these costs.
And I want to talk about this transition into a program that I promise you I'm getting up in. Yes, Lord Jesus, thank you, Lord, because it is something that small business owners of color can take advantage of. It is called the 8A program. It was life changing for you. It's
That's right.
SBA. Break that down and talk about how that changed your life and how you're changing the lives of others through this program.
The name of this program, it is a program that's administered by the SBA, the Small Business Administration, and it's called the 8A program. It's the number 8, small letter A. It is a 9-year program. And so in that 9 years, what most of us try to do as 8A firms, we try to get the revenue up. And when we graduate out of the program, you can do what you want to do. And so what the 8A program is about, I'm going to introduce you to a term called the Federal Acquisition Regulation, or the FAR. It is the way the federal government procures products and services legally with the vendor community out here. So the FAR states that a certified 8A small business can be sole source awarded. Sole source, SOLE, SOURCE. A synonymous term for sole source, put this in parentheses, is a direct award. That means that a contract can be literally given to you or awarded to you with no competition up to a maximum of $4 million. That is the Federal Acquisition Regulations, the FAR's rule around the 8A contract vehicles, what government calls them contract vehicles. There are 4 of them. You've got the woman-owned small business, the WOSB, the SDVOSB, which is your service disabled veteran-owned small business, and then you have what is called a hub zone, which is a historically underutilized business.
You said if you want to make millions of dollars, you have to work with people that spend millions of dollars.
Yes.
Not just 1 million this year. You want to work with people that are spending millions of dollars regularly.
All the time. It don't stop. Yes.
What greater client to have than the federal government? Talk about why that is a client that women that look like us might need to strive for.
And the reason for that is because the government is not only the largest employer, but they are the largest buyer. Okay. And so not only that, you also want to do business with a customer who is forced to do business with you.
Yeah, see, that's the part right there, because you got to get rid of these funds.
I will tell you that the SBA, they have a pretty high rejection rate. I would highly recommend that anyone that is trying to pursue their 8A, that you work with someone who submits these applications for a living. This is what they do. I'm not saying that you can't. Yeah, you can't fill out your own application. I'm not saying that, but just stay in your lane, okay? There is no specific revenue. However, there is something called a fit. So they are going to look at things like, if you have 2 contracts right now, does any one of those contracts account for greater than 70% of your total revenue? They look at things like that. Reason being is because they don't want to see all of your eggs in one customer's basket. What happens if that customer decides that they don't want to do business with you anymore, and 80% of your revenue comes from that one customer? I think that it is best to ensure your greater success in the 8A program that you start out being a subcontractor.
Let's talk about how long that takes. You know, these are large contracts up to $4 million. And I do want to highlight that that's per contract. So you might get 3, 4, 5 contracts in a year. That's not unforeseen. And that is why this is so amazing.
That's right. That's per contract. That's all right. So with respect to understanding how to get through the process of getting 8A certified. We're talking about the strategy around subcontracting and why you really need to subcontract so that you can learn what you're doing. The other big reason, and the more important reason than those last couple that I talked about for subcontracting, is because you need to gain federal past performance. Where have you had federal contracts in the past that validate and verify to ensure that you know how to do business with us? You put yourself in the federal government's position, and each contract has a number of FAR clauses in it that you sign off on, and you have to know what you're signing up for. So it does make sense why the contracting officers, and that's the title of the position in the federal government of the individuals that award contracts. They call them contracting officers. Now, they do count state level contracts as past performance, local contracts at the city and county level of where your business reside. They count those as past performance too. But it has been my experience since I've been in the government space, they really tend to like to see federal past performance.
So you mentioned starting a business for the business. Is this something that you'll need to do to be a contractor? Do you want to be a consultant? Do you need to change kind of the way it's set up? What are some steps on that side of things?
So government buys everything. Okay. When I say everything, they buy everything, including hair products, wigs, weaves, toupees. They buy it all, right? So what I tell folks is that you get to decide what you want to sell to the federal government. Your job is to learn how to do business with the government.
Karen Swain, people. My cousin, okay? Cousin Karen.
Yes.
And this is even funnier. My dad's name is John Swain. If you're in the Twin Cities, you already know. His daddy's name is John Swain. Karen's daddy name, Johnny Swain.
Johnny Swain. Yes.
Johnny's daddy name, Johnny Swain. You can't
Isn't
tell
it
me
crazy, Natalie?
Family.
So crazy.
My new mentor. She ain't even charged me yet, but she about to. If I keep talking about she's my mentor, I would be. Anybody at home, put your hand up if you feel where I'm coming from. This was some next level conversation today,
Next level.
Karen.
Natalie, let me close with this. This is new information. This has not passed the Senate floor yet. It has passed the House. Okay. The bill that's on the floor now or about to go to the Senate floor, the threshold for 8A sole source is being increased to 10 million per contract. And the annual percentage procurement spend currently is 5%. So 5% of the United States total budget is spent with 8A certified firms. They are now proposing to increase that to 11%. So that is some recent legislation that's out there. So we're prayerful that it can pass. If it does, this just puts us in an even better position. Okay, at least look and consider the federal government as your next customer. That's what I would say, because I guarantee you anything that you're probably selling, you can sell to the government. You just need some help and guidance. That's it.
How can people reach you?
So my website is IamKarenSwain.com. You guys can go there, and then all of my social media platforms, which are Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, is at I Am Karen Swain. We don't market our businesses on social media. That is not the way we market to the government. Now, my coaching business, that's different because I had to come on social media to find the Natalies and find you guys. So that's how you find me. I do have a way for you to book a discovery call with me, like Natalie did. You all should do that. Take advantage of that. It's 30 minutes. Let me try to understand where you all are, even if you're a fit, or I may tell you you're not a fit right now for government contract. I want you to wait and do this or that, and give people information, because that's all we need. Most of us, we are just, a conversation away from making a different decision in our life. Somebody had told me, I would have made a different decision. So that's what we're here to do. Okay.
All right, y'all. Well, make sure you check out Miss Karen Swain. And coming up next, the heat don't stop. Have you seen Friday? Have you seen New Jack City? What about what's that movie? Jason's Lyrics? Oh yeah. We've got the daughter of the producer that brought all of your favorite movies from the 90s. Her name's Camille. She's coming up next.
Hi, I'm Jess DeFeo, and I am a social media coach for women entrepreneurs who know they are on a mission to change the world with their business, but are struggling with how to market themselves authentically to their ideal client on social media. I can help you go from overwhelmed and confused on what to post to creating effective and impactful content that converts your followers into customers. Head to my website to grab your free course, Instagram 101 for Business, and learn the strategies I use to grow my business in just 6 months.
Hey, beautiful people, it's Major Mr. This is why I love you. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
We are living in challenging times, and despite having a 9-to-5 job, you still find it difficult to pay your bills and have money left over to spend on experiences that brings you joy. If you're at a point in your life where you know that there is more for you, you want to start a side business and express your multi-passions, but you're not sure if your gifts or ideas can be profitable, believe in yourself and connect with us over at RaquelWalters.com and let us help you to get clear on the knowledge you have that you can monetize right away.
Yo, this is Master P. Keep up with Natalie at the Connect Network.
Well, welcome back, Twin Cities. Oh, thank me later. Yes, you're welcome. I hope you're out there finding out about the 8A program with the SBA because it's time to get this bread. It's like a lot of us. We watch movies today. We look for entertainment today, and we don't really get inspired like we used to when we were kids, if you're anything like me. So I'm excited to bring to you today our next guest. Her name is Camille Kauer. She is absolutely incredible. She has a mother and a father that have been a part of some of your biggest moments in life, but she too is the founder, producer, and award-winning host of the E-Spot with Camille. So help me welcome her to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You can network and meet women that you are aligned with, that have power and purpose. Girl, break it on down. Tell us everything.
Well, so my mom is a crazy person, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Like, this is not a traditional mom by any means. It was so easy for her to make that transition from being a black belt in Shotokan and doing all these fights overseas, which is where I grew up until I was about 13. She went from there to starting to do movies and doing stunts because she still liked that physical aspect, even though she was working as a makeup artist as well as a visual artist. On this side, because that was what she got her degree in.
Camille, I want you to list some of the films that your father has been a part of, because the 90s, there was nothing like the 90s. So pop off, share with us some of the greats that we've been able
I'll even go back a little bit further because he did A Soldier Story, which was something that I think all of us, our parents might have been in love with. And then he did Breaking. He did New Jack City, Jason's Lyric, like you mentioned, Players Club.
Oh, Players Club. Lisa Ray comes through.
Baby Boy, which is always on.
That's right.
And then to move it up to a more current time, he did With This Ring, Something New, which I also got to work on with him. And then Girls Trip, of course, all the girls loved that movie.
Yes.
And he's done some TV movies or TV shows as well, The Mayor and some other things. I can't remember all of it. Like, just look up his IMDb, Dwight Williams. The most proud I've been of him is that even though he's had such a great career, his legacy is helping others.
How has this upbringing really created the woman that you are today? Tell us more about you and your history in the industry as well.
When we moved from Europe to America, I was put in ESL, and they were like, if you want to be American, you can only speak English. So then I just kept working in the entertainment industry, although I found other loves within the business. Like, I worked as a makeup artist on Hustle and Flow, and I became a spa director and went to esthetician school. And because it was something I could do and still be a stay-at-home mom, which is something I felt I missed out on because I went to 26 different schools before I graduated high school. everybody left North Carolina. So I started getting involved in politics to kind of be able to go talk to the governor and Vice President Biden at the time and speak to them about, hey, don't boycott us every time we get the wrong person elected. If anything, come to us, help us so we can switch the tables and they can understand why these things are so important. And I wanted to have my own platform, my own way of speaking. And next thing you know, I was podcasting.
Yes. So I want to touch on your podcast because you've done some amazing things. Talk about the inspiration to start the podcast. What can we expect to hear? You've had 3 seasons that you're highlighting. So talk a little bit about the inspiration behind that.
The radio station that I was working for pretty much shut down because of the pandemic as well. And I had to teach my daughter from home, virtual academy and so on. So I was just like, why me? Every time I get close to the finish line, it gets moved. So a publicist reached out to me about if I knew anyone that was a podcaster because they had canceled all in-studio interviews in LA. And I just helped her book a guest on Extra. So I was like, I don't yet, but give me 2 weeks. So the E spot, it started off as the E being for entertainment, but I've expanded it a little bit more because just like with any woman, especially me being ADHD, I don't have just one interest. I love interior design. I love art. I love all these different things that I can get involved in. So it just kind of lucked out that because I was in NABJ, the National Association for Black Journalists, the different stories they couldn't necessarily cover or couldn't cover enough, like just a 2-minute news show, they would send to me like, hey girl, can you, do what you do. And so that's how I got connected with George Floyd Memorial Center, Roger Floyd, which was George Floyd's uncle. So I was able to interview them. And I brought in the police union rep to bring in community policing, where they actually were part of the community and really tried to prevent all of this violence that was happening at the time. And
still today.
Misunderstanding. Exactly. Like still. So,
girl, I want to touch on that because we're in the Twin Cities right now on your Saturday night, and if anybody knows about George Floyd and the story and the injustice, although we do have a sentencing and we're happy that there was a level of justice served. Talk about what you're doing with the George Floyd organization in your town and why that's important to you.
A very liberal area. It's a lot, like you said, it's a melting pot of a lot of different races, a lot of different people. And I think when May 25th happened, we all took pause. We all took like self-evaluations and just realized, wait, who are our friends? Who are not our friends? Like ended friendships, blocked people, and started noticing what companies were just posting the black square and where are they now?
That's it.
And I know I scroll through and if I don't see people that look like me, then it's not meant for me anymore. The whole idea was to amplify Black, Indigenous people of color that worked in interior design business because that's 86% white. And that's someone that's coming into your home and making it a home. This is why we're doing this and we're no apologies. Like I went to Dallas Market and they had a panel about diversity and the importance of it. Yeah, like we're good for entertainment, to be presenters, to be the acts, the musical acts, but we're not good enough to get the award. We're deserving of those awards. Like I was the first person of color, Black woman, or woman for that matter, that won my award here locally. They should have been first. And so now that you are the first, you have to open doors for others. And that's why I loved helping with the George Floyd Memorial Center, because their goal is to teach the next generation. It's in.
What are some tips for women at home that are like, man, I've got the glory, I've got the excellence, but I still haven't maximized my purpose and my power. What tips do you have for women that are looking to become more of themselves?
Well, one thing that worked for me is because even though you might be gifted with, all this beautiful melanin, all this beautiful DNA, it doesn't mean that it doesn't come at a cost, at a price. Like people need to pay for your talents and the education that you put into it. But at the same time, I'm a mom. Like that's my number one job because I feel like it's so important for my daughter to also know what she's capable of. So I just feel like it's really important for you to set your boundaries, know your why, and know your purpose and stick within that. And always go back to why you started in your business, and that will never lead you wrong.
Love it, Camille. You are a superstar, a shining star. Tell the people at home how they can find you, how they can work with you, how they can be featured on your podcast. How can they reach you?
Yeah, so the best way is to go to my website. It's Camille Kauer, KAUER.com. It rhymes with flower, really simple. That's the best way to find all my social media, all my handles. And if you want to be a guest, you can send me a message on there as well. Otherwise, you can check me out, thespotcamille@gmail.com. I should pop up.
Yes, Camille. Well, guess what, Twin Cities? You're in luck because Camille's going to be back with us oftentimes. So she's going to be sharing, doing all of the things. She's got her space right here in the Twin Cities, and I'm so happy you're working with the George Floyd family. His murder really sparked my desire to bring a space to my hometown, and bringing women like you to our community is only going to help level us up. So thank you for being with us today. You guys are going to see Camille again, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I'm AJ Aquia Johnson, and I help people rock their better. I help people connect with their happy. And you're watching Connect Network TV.
Hi, I'm Dondre Whitfield, and go check out my book, Male vs. Man. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
Wear it, feel it. A lifestyle brand with focus on affordability, comfort, and community. A perfect blend of culture, style, class, and professionalism. WearItFeelIt.com.
What's up? It's your girl, Tisha Campbell. You will see me soon on the J Team with Miss JoJo Siwa playing a villain. And you are watching the Connect Network TV.
Calling all party planners! The Partypreneur School of Party Planning is back, answering the #1 question party planners ask: how much should I charge? Well, if you are tired of planning parties for your friends and family for free or for just a fraction of what you should, the Charge Your Worth course is for you. No more homegirl hookups. Sign up today at www.thepartypreneurschool.com.
Hi, I'm Ananda Lewis. I help women thrive. You can find me on Instagram at I'm Ananda Lewis or on my new app, Elixir, available in all app stores right now. And you're watching the Connect Network TV.
All right, Twin Cities, thanks for sticking with me today on your Saturday. I tell you, listen, take note. You better bring your paper and your pen when you pull up for Natalie, because I'm bringing you people that I admire, people that inspire me. They have the power to inspire you too. So another great show on the books. You guys make it a fantastic Saturday. Get up, praise the Lord from home, from church, however you got to do it. Make sure you're kind to yourself and each other. I'll see you next week.